Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your Daily Dose. I'm your host, PB, and today on the channel, we are going to be covering the newest iteration to the game. Yes, you've all speculated it. Now you know the Arcane heroes, the Unstoppables, are available for money. For money. One thing that I will say is don't be trapped. These things are nice and shiny. And yes, they do offer great value in terms of just, I want to say, like overall, they are good value. However, you do need, I believe, about 100 or 110 of those stakes. Is it 110? I think it is actually 110 of those stakes in order to get it. Because 110 is like 55 shards. So you need 55 shards in order to get 100 of these smackaroons. They're only 100. So, I mean, it's the same as it's the relative value of when the Generation 6s and 5s and all that were released all the way down to Gen 2, sorry. So it's still 100 of these crystals, which is not bad. At least they didn't make it like 130. But it does get expensive later on, I have been told. Yeah, it's quite expensive to upgrade these guys later on. But in saying that, if you are thinking about it from a value perspective, the monthly package is probably where it's at, just because you're going to get overall long-term value. So if you need like the 100 and whatever it is, 110, I think it is 110. Someone let me know in the comment section down below, but I'm pretty sure the math says 110 lamb steaks in order to get to 55 shards. But if you're going to do it, I probably would say the premium fund is better. You will immediately get these lamb steaks today, but in the end, you're going to be able to acquire these selection chests. You're going to get some gold, which is, again, pretty important. You're going to get a lot of stuff. There's a lot of selection chests here, which aren't, they are not bad. If you're thinking about it just in terms of just, like, I guess, raw value, these two, you can juggle. However you want to do it, just don't discount the monthly packages, because I mean, at the end of the day, you are probably going to get better value from that. And that's just my perception. I had a look at the monthly packages, the God's Blessings. Like, if you wanted to go down the route of buying a couple of these tiers, so if you got all the way up to so 85-ish of this, so 1, 2, and 3, that gives you around 86 of these lamb steaks. You'd still be short, though, so you would need to buy this $22 package. So in terms of like the value of it, they're pretty spot on. They basically want you to spend about $100, a little bit less, a little bit. You wouldn't be spending more than $100. Let's just use that as like the maximum cap. I don't believe you need to spend more than $100 to get these Arcane heroes, but it's still $100. So however you decide to spend that is absolutely up to you. Are they worth it? Let's talk a little bit about this. Now, of course, with the event rotation, you know the drill. You still need to like spend a crap ton to unlock this premium pool. So if you want to do that, congratulations. But besides that, you get your normal pool, you do your dailies, you get 9 of these knots, and that's it. Basically, don't worry about it. Just grab it. Oh, we got the 228. Nice. We got a jackpot for gold. I'll take that. Because we're going to be spending it here. So you need to spend your 9k gold to get 45 shards. And then that's where the 55 comes from. So I believe that is 110 lamb steaks. I'm pretty sure my math's right on that one. So that's your 45. Everybody's in the same boat. Make sure you grab that one. If you want to do some gambling, though, this isn't a terrible investment. It is a gamble, though. At least you're going to be getting minimum legendary. And, of course, you might be able to get lucky and get some of the mythics. But it's up to you if you'd like to do that one. The other one, of course, if you're going to be holistic about it, is this one. And these ones start at about 12k, but they are only mythics. So it's up to you. Up to you. If you want to do a little bit of a gamble, absolutely go ahead. We don't need to talk about you. Let's go to Celebrate Festival. Missions, pretty stock standard. Make sure you're doing your stargazing. Make sure you're doing all of the caravans, the conquests, the carnivals, everything like that. Divine's Beast, the hack is out. Everybody knows how to do it. You just go into it, then you go out of it, then you go into it, and then you go out of it. And basically, that's how you unlock these day one. So grab your drumsticks and have some fun with that. But I think most players have sussed this out in terms of just the value analysis. You can, of course, make your decision on what you would be purchasing for your lamb steaks. I would strongly recommend building your Arcane hero. Let's talk a little bit about the Arcane heroes. Nothing I can do there just yet. I need to, actually, before I forget, let's go to the shop. Let's buy these ones out. Yes, PP. Let's grab those ones. We know those weird little compass thingies because they're very, very important. And of course, every day, make sure you grab your 100k a day, and let's go with that. Now, we will use that because that's going to bug me for eternity. Where's my strategists? I wanted to do this. Yes. Because you need a lot of these things. But you do get like a good boost, a good power boost. So I think I'm just going to focus on one Arcane and just keep leveling that up. But I wanted to remind everyone, make sure you go in because you do have your weekly resets. So very, very important. All right, we were talking about heroes. We're going to talk a little bit about each one of them. We'll start with Wei. They have like a transformation ability. So like, kind of like, I want to say it's almost like the Sky Piercer, how you get the cloak, but they transform. It's a part of their passive. So basically, this is what happens. Elemental transformation is what it's called. The hero will basically do that in there. You have to meet certain requirements, but they will eventually transform. I just wanted to point that out. So their normal ability, this guy here, damage increase makes sense. Front row analyze, that's great. Jardin's gonna like benefit from that one. Deals physical damage, pretty stock standard. Like those percentages are quite nice. Physical damage to targets has 30% chance to inflict conduction, last one round. Inflict one random ally with cutoff, the last one round. So conduction, when affected enemies receive basically damage. And adjacent enemies retrieve true damage. So true damage is without any mitigation, which is nice. I don't really gain any stat buffs, which is interesting. Cutoff is quite nice too. That would be quite annoying fighting a Wei nation, considering with how many of the buffs that you have. Of course, this one is his ultimate and rage ability. They're kind of the same. They just do basically buffed versions of it. Yeah, so they basically have buff versions of it. So you can go through and sort of decide which ones you'd like to do. But at the beginning of each round, this is kind of why most players like these things, because they're the passive, right? So Minos takes a random ally in front with his scythe. Okay, he hooks them. This enemy will be inflicted with focus fire. If the enemy dies while hooked, he basically goes into berserk mode the last 2 rounds. When casting ultimate for the first time, or the HP drops by 50%, triggers elemental transformation. They basically have more HP. Heroes before transformation. If hero is killed by transform, the transformation effect will be cancelled. Hero will receive basically get revived. Revived full HP. The hero can only transform 1 time. Okay, that's fine. For every 1 fewer targets, damage will increase by 20%. Ultimate cast times 2 after transformation. So they do get to cast the ultimate a couple of times. And then, of course, you can just read everything. But Berserk seems to give you like a massive buff, which is cool. I mean, but the thing is, the enemy he's hooked to has to die. So, yes. There's always stipulations. I mean, ultimately, these guys are going to dominate, right? So it doesn't really matter which one that you decide to go with. If you want to play with your specific nation, the best one, everyone says, is Marchow. I think it's Daochan, but Marchow he's up there in terms of raw DPS. Physical damage against with the highest attack, front row, of course, 50% more crit and strength, very stock standard. Mighty Lunge deals physical damage to the target with the highest attack in the front row and adjacent enemies. Deals physical damage to target with 30% chance to inflict spear wound. Grants self Splendid. Last one round increases all allies' damage reduction. Splendid prevents self from receiving more than max HP, which is cool. So he can't die. Spear wound, each stack reduces the inflicted target's damage reduction and bonus damage by 10%. Now, I think if this dude does die, he actually gets quite interesting. Again, Valiant Charge is his ultimate rage ability. He has like 3 heroes, which is cool. At the start of the battle, gets undeterred that lasts the entire battle. For every max HP damage received, triggers Frenzy. So every time that he basically gets more than 30% of his HP attacked to him, basically, he goes into Frenzy mode. When casting Ultimate for the first time, he gets Transformation. But what does Frenzy do? Basically gains 50 Rage on each turn. Okay, 50 Hatred and 4 Rage. And undeterred attack buffs received are weakened by 20%. Debuffed, sorry. So he just like goes into a Frenzy mode and he gets stronger. And that's pretty much it. He's pretty good though. He's meant to be a raw DPS and he does his role quite eloquently. Gunning, basically he's going to be another front row DPS, I'd imagine. Deals physical damage to the front row allies. He has a rage ability. Basically, he does Camp Raid that lasts 1 round. Grants self Silk Sails, lasting 2 rounds, increasing all allies' damage buff. So there's a little bit of a buffage here. 20% of damage received by the affected target will be used to heal the inflictor. Interesting. Silk Sails, 40% chance to reflect incoming debuffs. So if you look what he does, he has defense to offense. That is his role. And of course, he hits the front row. Very cool. Galvanization, which is interesting. Triggers Starward Stance during the first 2 rounds. When the 3rd round begins, trigger Charge Stance, lasting for the entire battle. When casting an ultimate for the first time in the current battle of HP, we all know that basically whatever comes first, he goes into Elemental Transformation. If the hero is killed while transformed, the transform effect will be cancelled and basically they get revived. So it's like a failsafe. But Starward Stance, when an attack reduces incoming damage by 300% defense and increased defense by 2% for the current battle up to 10 times. Interesting, so it stacks. He comes very, very tanky. And Wu Nation is exceptionally tanky. Change Stance, basically get attack plus defense 40%. Any ally, any attack inflicts 500% true damage. Burning targets will receive double damage. Ooh, when attacked, reducing incoming damage by 300%. Interesting. Change or charge stance. But that only begins on the 3rd round. Right. So as the battle progresses, he gets stronger after the 3rd round. But he also has a lot of defense, which is quite nice. Kind of tanky. Probably not the greatest of them. Kind of like a way hero. Not the greatest. But when I say that, don't let that put you off. Of course, you're going to be building them if you are going to play those nations. Deals magic damage. Has 100% accuracy and crit. Nice. So, interesting. Interesting. Demo. No, not yet. So, she deals damage to the front row plus extra damage, basically. Grants self Enama and all other allies Moonblade, lasting 2 rounds, reduces enemy's damage reduction. Interesting, so a bit of a debuff. Damage will be used to heal allies. Moonblade. An attack has a 40% chance to inflict extra damage. Okay, alright, interesting. Again, ultimate is the same thing. Gorgeous. Ooh. When attacked for the first time in each round, inflict a random ally with Obsession in the last 2 rounds. Each transformation skill has 30% chance to inflict all allies. No desire to fight the last 2 rounds. When casting an ultimate for the first time, or triggers it, basically, we all know it's revival. Obsession. Obsessed by Dalchan. All targets inflicted with this effect will share 25% of damage she receives. And no desire to fight attacks targets -1. Okay, so it shuts you down. Attack targets -1. 1 target minimum. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, in terms of that, it's basically preventing players from hmm. It's going to prevent some players from attacking. I wonder if that shuts down Marchow. We'll have to see about that one. We'll have to see. But in ultimate PB nature, we will be testing all of these heroes out. So don't worry about a thing. If you have a way hero and you want me to test that out, let me know in the comment section down below. Reach me on Discord. I believe we have a Warlord. I believe we have a Shoe hero. Maybe if someone still plays Woo, we might be able to test out a Woo hero as well, which will be fantastic. But at the moment, I'll see. I'll see, because at the same time, I mean, it is basically $100 depending on which route you go. There's probably cheaper ways to do it, a little bit less, but at this stage, we'll see whether or not we want to buy this outright. Um, I'm leaning towards a yes. I'm leaning towards a yes. I do want this character on my team, but at the same time, I'm also curious to keep testing out Old Man here as well. So we will be getting Dao Chan regardless. But when we'll have to decide on that one. We want good value too. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you pulling the trigger? Is this the first time you're spending big on the game? Celebrate Festival most of the time is a bit of a trap, so I'm glad they did bring out the monthly funds that can so on coincide with that, so they give you a little bit more bang for your buck. But yeah, I'm excited. Who's excited? I think that Shoe Nation got excited. I certainly feel like this is the dawning of the Warlord clan, though. We overtake everyone in the end, just so everybody knows that. Don't say that I didn't warn you. Alright, thank you so much for sticking around. This is just more of an information video, by the way. We will be doing some playtesting throughout the week, so make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification button. We'll be organizing that behind the scenes for those that are spending in this event, which will be fantastic, because I know everybody's curious to see it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.